So in today's talk, we're going to talk a little bit about what Jesus might say to all of the folks who are graduating from high school or college right now. So as I was thinking about what Jesus would say if he were giving the commencement address, there was one big idea that came to me from the Sermon on the Mount. And in this passage of Scripture, Jesus says, "You are the light of the world, a city set upon a hill that cannot be hidden. Let your light so shine before others that they might see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." And in this, Jesus is reminding his disciples, anyone who's chosen to follow him, that whatever else they're called to do, whether they're doctors or lawyers or school teachers or whatever it might be, they're also called to be light bearers. That we're called to take Christ's light into the world. And to appreciate that, we've got to understand the nature of darkness. In the Scripture, darkness is used often as a metaphor for suffering and pain and oppression and injustice and evil, that when people are sick, it's referred to as darkness. When people are experiencing oppression or injustice, it's referred to as darkness. The book of the Bible that uses the word darkness more than any other is the book of Job. 30 times in the book of Job we hear about darkness, and that's because this man is experiencing epic darkness. And so when Jesus says, "You are the light of the world," he means that we are to go out and to offer encouragement and care for people who are broken and hurting, to offer hope to people who are hopeless, that we're called to right the wrongs in the world, to be a part of bringing justice in the face of injustice, and we're called to take to the world the message of a God who loves us, who came for us in Jesus to show us the way and the truth and the life. So this is our mission. And when you graduate from high school or you graduate from college, of course, what everyone wants to know is, what are you going to do with your life? What's your career you're going to pursue? And what I would say is, Jesus is telling us not what career to pursue, but he's telling us that whatever career you pursue, even deeper than, even more base, at a more base level than the career, is the calling for you to be light. So I think about the lawyers that I have known who have sought to take this seriously and have understood, as Chief Justice Warren Burger once said, that lawyers can be healers, and have looked at their law practice as a way of trying to reconcile broken things and trying to work for justice. I think about doctors who in our congregation every morning wake up and on their knees they say, "Lord, please use me today to bring healing to the patients that I'm going to see." And those who recognize that it's not just what they do with a scalpel, but it's what they do at the bedside that is bringing healing and hope to other people. I think of a school teacher in our church who works in the inner city, who when she sits there with her class throughout the day, she looks at these little children, many of whom are living in abject poverty, and she prays silently for each one. "Help me to be a light for this child, help them to see that they are loved, there's someone who's investing in them, and to find a future." I think about a woman named Isabel Nell in South Africa. And 7 years ago, she went to take a building in the midst of a community built around a trash dump. 16,000 people live without water and sewer and electricity, and they live at the edge of the trash dump, the city dump for Pretoria, and they find the materials for their homes in the trash dump. They try to recycle. They find sometimes the food that they eat in the trash dump. And these little children, she knew that God was calling her to build a preschool for these kids so that they would get one nutritious meal a day, that they would get immunizations, that they would be taught about God's love and the tools to be able to make it in life, and even the kind of coaching they needed as little children to deal with the aspects of poverty that they have to deal with on a daily basis. And I spoke to Isabel Nell, that's the director, and I said, "Why are you here? You're a trained social worker. You come into a place of such poverty every day. What motivates you?" And she said, "When I was 14 years old, I felt God calling me to push back the darkness in the world." And this is what she does on a daily basis. Whatever it is you're training for, whatever kind of job or career you're pursuing, underneath that, even more important, what gives deep meaning to your life is that whatever you're doing, you're also looking to be light in the world, God's light. And as you do that, you find life.